I lost my job last year after the divorce. My ex-wife's father owned the company. He let me go with a modest severance package. It was a dark time. For about 6 months, I drank, morning until night. A slow, pathetic suicide. It's harder than it seems, killing yourself, I mean. Every morning I'd wake up, like some malfunctioning phoenix. I just wanted it to be over, to descend into sweet darkness and feel nothing. Then, in September, my debit card was declined. That sound, that scratch the machine made, indicating I had no money, that even here, amongst my derelict peers, I was on the bottom. I began to look for jobs, any jobs. I found it on Craigslist, substitute teacher, gifted, special education. I've never been a kid person, don't like them, don't hate them, but I was desperate. Driving through the long winding road to the school was like being transported in time. Jeffersonian buildings evoked a Virginian antebellum aesthetic. Tall, majestic oaks lent their shadows in the summer heat. Everyone in the area knew the school. Private, elite. Graduates went to Yale, Harvard, Wharton. 2 vice presidents and 1 Speaker of the House were alumni. My Camry felt out of place in the parking lot, but like I said, I was desperate. When I walked in, the receptionist looked at me, knowing. "You're here for the substitute teaching job." I nodded. "Come with me." She walked down a long hall. I followed. We stopped at a large industrial door with a keypad. The numbers beeped, echoing down the hall as she typed in a code. An airlock whooshed as the door opened and steps down into an underground area. She stopped at the top of the stairs, motioned for me to continue down. "This is as far as I go." I hesitated. Something wasn't right. This didn't add up. She sensed it. "We pay in cash, daily." I'm not proud of it, but like I said, I was desperate. "What?" I began. "Instructions are on the table." She turned around and walked out, the door humming as it closed, settling into place with a clank. The air compressors kicked in, sealing the door. My footsteps were muted as I went down, like something was absorbing the sound. At the bottom, a small hallway stretched out to another door, round, like a hobbit door. Curious now, I walked towards it. My hands caressed it. Thick, rich wood, warm to the touch. It felt alive. To the left of the door was a small cubby with a paper. It simply read, "Rules." Underneath, "These children are special children, scholarship students who board at Westlake. For their success and your safety, the following rules must be followed. 1. When the children start whispering, do not turn your back on them. 2. The nurse will take them out sometimes. When they come back, do not make eye contact for 15 minutes. 3. Do not try and help them after their nurse's visits. 4. Insubordination must be immediately punished by pressing the button. 5. Your payment is in the envelope. Do not take it until the day is done. Failure to adhere will absolve management of responsibility for harm." Weird, but there was an envelope under the end sheet with 7 crisp $100 bills. The lure of quick cash override any misgivings I had. Just then the bell rang. I walked to the hobbit door, which was now cracked open. Inside was a classroom. Oddly enough, the children filed in from another entrance. 27 of them, second graders. They seemed normal, just a little quiet. A folder on the desk had my lesson plans for the day. I began teaching. At around 10 a.m., the children had recess. They exited their door. I watched through the window as they ran outside onto a lawn and began running back and forth. Suddenly it struck me. We were underground, or so I thought. How was this level with the ground outside? Maybe the rear of the school went downhill, and I just hadn't noticed it as I came in. When they came back in, their energy was lower. I was writing on the chalkboard when it started. A faint whispering, like the rustling of fall leaves. My hand froze on the chalkboard. I tried to turn, but I was stuck. The whispering grew, like bees, angry, humming, swarming. The lights dimmed, taking on a late evening glow. Hard hammering. I summoned all my will and moved my head about a quarter of an inch. On the edge of my vision, a shadowy form loomed where the first desk was. As I looked, it coalesced into one of the students. The whispering grew angry, but I felt its grip on me loosen. I moved my head further, and more shadowy forms congealed into young children. I wrenched my neck, facing the class. The sound shattered, and everything came to normal. The lights brightened. After a long moment, one of the boys raised his hand. Yes? I didn't know his name. Johnny, he said. Yes, Johnny, I replied. The answer is 7, he said. It took me a moment, then it struck me. He was solving the problem I had written on the board, like nothing had ever happened. That's correct, I stammered. Just then, the bell rang. I looked at the clock. Somehow it was 2:45, dismissal time. 2.5 hours had just disappeared. I watched as these children, who had just moments ago been something else, as they stood up and ran out the door. I felt lucky to be alive, grabbed the envelope, ran up the stairs, through the compression of the doors. As I walked out, I saw her. She looked surprised. You're alive? I nodded. Yes. Okay. See you tomorrow? She asked. I touched the wad of cash in my pocket, thought about the party I'd be throwing tonight. Yes, I said, walking out into the afternoon. The sun was warm, but as I looked at the school, my heart skipped in my chest. Behind it, hills rose into the Blur Ridge Mountains. The wind blew, the rustle of the leaves, like a whisper. My blood ran cold. I needed a drink.